Okay. 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 All right. So. Why isn't it there? All right. Finish up a little bit of food here. I'm gonna get going. All again. Or do I have the whatchamacallit for this particular whatchamacallit? Manage it. How can I manage it? Get a shareable link. There we go. Alright. We'll take that, toss it in here, paste, boom. Okay, so now that I got that taken care of, stream's been posted. Let's work. All right, so let's transition that to. All right, so here we go. I'm Caleb with Game Hero Studios. Going to be doing my second live YouTube live today, right now. So here we go. All right, and what we're going to be doing today is just basically just adding in the house that I created during the last YouTube live session. I took it a lot farther after I got off, and I finished adding texture and all the rest of the shadows. So, alright, let's, first thing I want to do is find our house. So, let's open up Photoshop first. See, I do so much work in Photoshop. There's so many different documents. City ground, background, game cover. Okay. Nope. Alright, so. Oh, that's right. It's in. Or I should say, I think. I remember where I put it. So we'll go to desktop. Let's go to Game Hero Media. Digital drawings, 2D background. Aha, look at that. And there it is. Okay. So here's our house. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that we save it into our Unity project folder as a PSB. So let's go to local disk C. Go to users, owner, Unity projects, scrap project. That's what it's called. And it's because it started off as, well, learning. Started off as a couple other projects that kind of evolved into the one that I'm doing now. You follow along with tutorials, and some of them work out and some of them don't. But the other thing is that sometimes you just don't understand how to integrate it or implement it correctly into your project and make it work. And I feel like it was a little bit of both of those while I was doing these projects. So working in those files. And of course, each time I got to a point where I was like, you know what, I don't know if I can take this particular model of what I'm building any further. And so basically what I would do is I would keep all of the things that worked well, worked the best things that I had to offer from that particular build, and then I created a new file. And I started from scratch, so to speak. Alright, so let's go assets. We're gonna go to art. Alright, and yeah, I guess you could just go into your own. It can just be your own thing. I mean, really, it's gonna be should be city graphics, but interestingly enough, there's nothing here like that. So let's go and turn this to a PSB. Oh, look at that. They all pop up. Jimmy's house. You know what? What do you guys think of that spelling? Jimee. Kind of weird, different. I'm not even sure if I like it. I mean, just Jimmy, right? Okay. So here we go. We're gonna save it as Jimmy's house. Or wait, we're not gonna do that yet because what we need to do actually is consolidate all of these layers. So right now I have it all apart. And if I was to put this into Photoshop, or I should say, if I was to import it into Unity right now, it'd be a bunch of these really horrible pieces. And it'd probably not look very good. So what I'm going to do before we jump into Unity to actually look at it is turn each one of these things, identify each one of these things, and turn them into the smart objects that they should be. All right. So let's find that. Okay, so your little shadow there. That shadow on the house here. So let's put that on the very top. What's going on with this one? Okay, so each of these, I'm going to assume, are a little bit of texture and shading on top of my beams for under this slanted roof. Or I should say it's called the very angled roof. Alright. It's interesting. Okay. So we got one. And if I turn that off, then the whole thing disappears. Okay. So, what do we got here? Angled rook. No, that's a roof. It's a roof. That's what it is. Alright. So. Alright, so that's that. What's this one? They both the same thing? Let's zoom in on that a little bit and take a closer look one more time. Okay, so that's the top, little bit top shadow, and this is gonna be under. Actually, where is that? No, it's not. These are the two. Okay. So, I feel like what I'm looking at mostly is shadows. Okay. So let's try and find those three shadows right there. Nope. There's one. Okay, so we got one, two, and there should be one more underneath there. one. Ooh. So I missed something. I missed the one. Okay. Yep. I remember adding these two. What about this guy? Okay. So you are all chimney. What's ah? Shall that is. Okay. Alright, so let's see. Hey, what's up, son?
Are you making a live stream?
Yeah, I'm live right now. What's up?
I'll come back later when you're not busy.
Alright.
I was gonna give you my shirt.
You can still give me a try if you need to, but
I don't want people to see us in the live.
alright. Come back later then. I don't think there's anybody watching anyway. At least not yet.
Fine, I'll just do it.
That's what I mean, man. Hey, look. 0.
Okay, I'll just do it quickly.
I mean, now, of course, if anybody clicks on this video, they'll, if they decide to watch back whatever I do,
Yes, I know.
this will
They'll
be
see it.
within the video. So, anyways, this is my son Cam. Introduce my son Cam here
Hi.
on the live. To anybody that does end up watching it back or hopping on. All right, so let's see, Monday. Thank you for remembering, bud. Take the trash out. Obviously, I'm not checking these things right now. Vacuum, rugs. How was the cat? How's the cat today?
She was good.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's get back to consolidating these layers. Ooh, okay. Okay, so you got this guy. That one. as well. Actually, you know what? Let's put all these together first. Let's grab both of these. It's got to be that. Yeah. Where's the other one? There too. Nice. Alright, so I think that's all of that. I don't see any other layers that look like they could possibly be part of that. Nope. Yep. It's not that one. I said that one's that. Alright. So let's convert that to a smart object and turn it off. Okay. And the whole thing turns off. Wonderful. Okay. So we got that. Window. No, this is a part of that. Oh, or maybe not. That one is on its own and has this one. Okay. So we want these two to be a smart object. Okay. So here and there, this and this and this and this. All of those could be a smart object together. That's fine. Oh, looks like we missed one. So let's find it. In fact, okay. So it is there. It's just very difficult to see when it's off. Alright, so let's go back. Alright, so we got that. I think we can merge these ones together. Those shadows. Convert. Okay, now let's put the vent, the window. Alright, I like that. So let's turn those into a smart object. Oh, hold on. What's this? Yep, don't want to forget that. But of course, that is a part of this. No, wrong one. Part of this one. Alright, there we go for that. Entry. So say we got rid of it. That's one interesting looking house right there. Okay. Well, that's not called the upper right window now. We call that roof, second floor. Alright, so that, this, and that, those all become a smart object. And then all of a sudden, the whole house comes together. Boom. Alright, so let's take a quick look at this. Something's going on here. I'm not sure if I like it. That's when it happened. Okay. I was wondering about that weirdness that I was seeing here. That was like a cross here. Something looked a little weird, so one of the layers, I must have put it in kind of the wrong way. So let's do it again. Okay, so I feel like each of these can just be put on top of it like this. So I think that was the problem. Okay. So we got that. Turn it into a smart object now. It should look the way that we want it to. It should look the way that we want it to look now. Hey, that's how it goes. Sometimes you forget to pull this stuff out so that you can be heard a little bit better. All right. All right. so now we can save it and take a look in Unity. So let's go. Let's hop on over to Unity. All right, so we're in this, whatchamacallit. What a big difference the lights make in your game. Huge difference. Lights really play such a part. They will take your game from having no mood and no atmosphere to, well, just watch this. All you gotta do is look at this scene really quick, right? And now all of a sudden, it actually looks interesting. Has a more of a feel to it. All right. So let's see whatever we were doing in here. Okay, so we saved that. Now we're gonna go to our first scene because this is not the correct one. All right. So here we are. Within our scene here. So let's give ourselves a little bit more space. All right. Slide some of this over. I don't even need those right now. Okay, and let's find our house now. Ah, I think I found it. There it is. Jimmy's house. Woohoo! Well, look at that. It don't look too bad, actually. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't need to see that right now. What we need to do is completely right here. So let's do that. Yeah, want to see those things. Other thing we want to do, I should say, honestly, right off the rip, is we want to go over here and increase the quality of the picture. It actually doesn't look so bad, but still, it's something that you want to get in the habit of doing. So we'll turn it up there. We don't need to increase it all the way. Get rid of the MIP maps. Apply. Oh, all right. Slightly sharper. All right. So right off the rip, first thing we want to do is take this and let's unpack this prefab. Or I should say let's unpack it. We're going to turn it into a prefab. I'm going to be calling it Jimmy's. And I guess for the moment, we're just going to go with the other name. And I'm going to honestly ask for some feedback on the spelling. what you guys think about the weird one and the normal spelling? Okay, so Jimmy's house. We can take that and remove it from the layer 4. We can just get rid of that all together now. All right, so we'll move that out of the way. Let's grab this building and, well, let's make it disappear for a sec. And see what it looks like if I just drag Jimmy's house down in here. Now, of course, the first thing that I need to do apart from that is simply get it in the right layer. So if we want it to be behind all of that stuff, we're going to toss it on the same layer as our midground. So I see a bunch of I see some midground here, so let's toss it there. Now we're talking. I'll tell you what. You back out and you look at this whole scene. You're like, man, look at that house. Of all the things that are in this scene, that house, it definitely looks the best. At least to me. It looks the best in my opinion. Now, of course, this particular live stream, this isn't going to be very long because there's some other things that I want to really get to. I started working on a hook, a grapple hook. And of course, I don't want it to behave the same way that everybody else's does. I want it to be a little different, but I feel like my knowledge limits me on the things that I want to do at the moment. There's so many ideas that I have, and the more experience that I get, the more freedom with the creativity I'll be able to have, because I'll understand the tools and more of those kinds of things as I continue on. Took me a decent amount of time to even get here, but here I am. You just got to stick with it. Don't give up and keep going. When you feel like giving up, don't. Just don't. Just don't do it. Don't quit. Step away. I literally have it right above my head. Because I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a quick story about that. I got real upset, real frustrated with code, real frustrated with the program's and I picked up my pen and I threw it. Not with a ton of force, but with I just kind of went like this. And that's all it took. And I broke my fucking screen. I broke my screen. And I had to go and spend another $150 just to get another one. Because of my stupidity. So, when you get aggravated, don't let it defeat you. Don't let it get the best of you. Trust me, I had to learn. I had to learn my lesson. But yeah, if you get aggravated, you get frustrated, you get stumped, don't give up. Try and give it your absolute best shot. But know when you can't figure it out and when to ask for help. Alright. So we got our house here. Heck. Let's where's that other guy at? The mid-ground that I turned off. Okay, so he's still there. I think what I'm going to do now is drag him over because he doesn't look so good just like that. I don't even know if he looks good at all anymore. Let's get rid of him altogether. And let's grab you and we'll pull you up. And we'll send you back. I mean, heck, grabbing that and doing that doesn't do anything. not going to affect our layer whatsoever. And so because of that, let's just toss him back where he was. And what we'll do is we'll grab this guy right here. If he's grabbable. So the gap is, it's just going to be there. You can't get rid of it. Okay. At any rate, we'll leave it just like that. You can grab this fence. May not be, or I should say it's definitely not necessary to have it anymore. But what we could do is we could take this fence and we could drag it over and set it right on top of this one instead. I mean, do they all need to look the same? It's probably one of those things where it'd be better if they don't all look the same. I'll tell you what, that just really worked out as far as I'm concerned. You look at the fence and where I placed the fence before I even thought to put the house there. And now, well, now the house has a fence. Pretty cool. I like that. But what we're going to have to do about that is make sure that there's a gap in the fence where the entryway goes. So let's do that now. So let's grab this fence. What do we have? Yeah, it is tiled. Okay. So bring it right up here. Okay. Well, what does that look like then? That's fine. Fine with that. I think that looks good. Trees could be big, right? Okay. box, baby. Yeah, I know. I put angles in my game. Was it the right thing to do? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I gotta do something about this. Just gotta go. Sorry. I just don't need something over there with that kind of... Alright. Do I like these trees? I'll be honest, I don't. I don't even like these trees. But I made them. I don't like these trees at all. Like, the more that I look at them, I'm just like, man, these things are ugly. Maybe swapping these damn trees out for the other ones that I made. Alright, so let's hit play real quick. Alright, so let's keep up with the fence. Let's do the other piece of that. So let's duplicate that. Let's go to the move tool, slide it over. Boom. Oh my god. I just can't get over how different. How much better. See, like, when I made the buildings and such, I wasn't as skilled. I wasn't as good at doing what I'm doing now. So they don't look as good. They just don't. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They just don't look as good. Alright. Let's grab this shrub. This little plant. Wow. It's actually a lot smaller than I expected. But that's okay. What thing is this thing? I need some bushes here, baby. Yeah. All I did there was just cover it up. Okay, so now what we can do is we can add our interactable base to the house itself. So what we're going to do is go over here. Because I think I'm going to do that. I think I am going to end up creating some kind of an interior. At least a couple interior spaces for the house. At the very least, it'll be you walk into the house. You could go upstairs, or you can go straight over, and there will be a room with maybe like your progress board or something like that. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. For the key items that you pick up in the game. Now, of course, Rat Splat is it's not an extremely long game. That it's not meant to be. It's my very first, so I'm making it as large as as big as I feel that I can handle. All right, so let's do that. Let's go and grab our interactable base. All right, script. Where's my scripts at? Scripts. All right. Okay, so here's our other guy right here. So we got our sewer shortcut gate. All right. All right, and then we got okay, so let's create a new script. We're going to call this house interaction. Let's see if that even opened anywhere. Well, we had store interaction open up, but not house interaction. So let's open up house interaction. All right. So still not seeing it. All right, so let's close that down. Now where is? Yeah, no. Okay, I see what they're doing to me. That's what they're doing. It opened it in here. It opened it in a separate window. Alright, so house interaction. Got that here. Here we go. Where do we go? Let's open up this guy. Alright. So that's first thing we want to do is make this inherit from the interactable base. All right. And then you got to delete everything else. Okay. So now we have public override void interact. Okay. And of course it is if input get key down. It's going to be key codey. E. No, I suppose it would be helpful if I put what I was typing onto the screen. Well, hey, it's my only my second YouTube live, so I guess I make stupid little mistakes like that. But of course, honestly, what I want to do is have all of these be on the same window. I don't need to have separate windows like this. So let's... Yeah? Ah, cool. Alright, cool. Alright, so being that we don't have anything set up or any kind of scene or anything like that made, honestly, this is as far as I'm going to take it for that. There's no need to take it further until I have something to connect it to. So we can save that script right there. Now, in fact, what we'll do is we'll put a debug here. That's what I like to do. Debug.log. Having this thing here is a little bit annoying, but it's not that big a deal. It could be so much worse. It could be way, way worse. All right, so debug.log, and we're going to do that. And we're going to say create house interior. All right. Okay. So that's good for that for the moment. And my God, I can't believe I've already been on for an hour. Okay. So we got that looking a little bit better. House interaction. So now what we're going to do is we're going to toss the house interaction. Where you at? Where you at, Jimmy's house? Well, Jimmy Jams. Jimmy's. All right. Oh. Boom. Gotcha. Why are all those trees lit up when I select this thing? That's weird to me. Oh man. It just don't do it for the shrubs, unfortunately. Not even close. Alright, well, you can turn all those damn gizmos off. Seriously? Why they just keep flashing on me? Okay. Well, regardless, I'm not sure why they all will keep popping the bones up the moment I click on that thing. Now, let's see. Let's just see. Just because if I toss it onto this non-parallax fence layer and I click these things, still weird. Still weird to me why it's having all those bones. Very odd. Okay, so what we're gonna do also is we're gonna put one of those. I think we're gonna add lights to the house. What else are we gonna do to our house? We're gonna give some smoke. We're gonna put a little bit of a small smokestack. We're gonna put particle system out there. So let's do that. Let's do those things real quick. But first, I think what I want to do is let's simply take Jimmy's house and let's turn it into a prefab. Not that it's ever going to be used again, but it's just better to have it as prefab. Alright, so cityscape, city entry, alright. There it is. Alright, so and our shrubs are still in the back. Alright, so here we go. Let's do some lights. Let's take a look. What is the material? Sprite lit. Oh, you know, if we go to unlit, it's already going to be there for us, and we don't want that. I would prefer to keep it like that. Now, of course, I'm no expert on the lighting by any means. Not even close. Not even close. But I'm one of those people that I'm going to try. I'm going to try pretty effing hard before I ask for help or give up. And most of the time, I'm not going to give up. And if I do, it's for a very short amount of time. Very short. I get frustrated and aggravated by things that I don't understand, just like anybody else does, but I really try to make a point to not get too aggravated about things. Not get too aggravated about things. Nope. It's not worth it. Alright, so let's make this like a 0.2. Nah, it's not enough for me. 0.4. Let's try that. I like it. That seems like it would be good. Whatchamacallit? No. Let's do 0.2. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So we got one. You can click off of that. Let's duplicate it. Let's slide it on over to our entry. And of course, we can just make it fit this one. This one right here, we can make it fit. So let's drag this up to this corner here. Boom. Another corner there. One here. Okay, so pull this one just about to that corner. This one to this corner. And this one right down there. Alright, so got that going. Alright. That's not so bad. Can I get that right in the corner there? Okay, so we got that. Now, where's our... Where are... Okay, so here's our particle smokestack. These are things that I've created already so that I can make it fast. You know, I spent a lot of time making these things, and now I have the ability to, well, make them faster because I put in that time. All right, so I don't think we need Jimmy's to be this whatchamacallit. Doesn't need to smoke that much. I don't want it to smoke the same amount, so we're gonna go to the emission. I'm gonna turn it down to 1. Yeah, okay, so we'll make that one. We'll come back. We'll go to the shape. Shape is fine. It's a lifetime. It's not enough for me, and that's way too much for me. Okay, so it was 0.4, which isn't too bad, really. Let's do 0.7. That looks more like puffs, and I don't want puffs. I want a steady stream of it. So let's do 6. That's still puffs. 5. That's like borderline puffs. So let's do 0.45. 4. Heck. Let's try 3. And let's make the start size a little smaller. Let's go to 1. I don't like how big the difference is between them, so let's go 1 to 2. Ran in between 2 constants. Yeah, that's fine. Speed, I think it slowed the speed down. That really is what it is. You just end up going through and messing with things over and over and over again. All right. Two is correct. Because, I mean, the more I look at 2 just looks, it looks good. So maybe I'll try 1.5 because I didn't like 1. And I didn't like the difference between the 2 either. It's too much of it. Make this 2.5. No. It's got to be 2. Yeah. That looks pretty good. All right. So we got that going. What else do we want? Okay. So let's do color over lifetime. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that looks correct to me. It's a good color. How about size over lifetime? So this is one where you want it to kind of start off big and then, well, not big, but you want it to start off at a regular size and then, continue to grow. So I guess it's pretty much where you want it to be, or I should say where I want it to be. But I don't want it to start that small. That's way too small. Yeah. See the difference, Michael. Move the graph around. Now, honestly, it's almost like it's not even necessary to have size over lifetime. The more you look at it. I'm honestly thinking about just putting it back to 0.4. 2. What's that look like? Ooh. It looks nice. Maybe just like make it a little bit more translucent, transparent. So let's lower the alpha. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I like that. Yeah, okay. Let's take that. That looks good to me. Alright, so let's save that. Let's go back. Let's take a look at Jimmy's house. Alright. Are going behind the house. So let's take a look. Alright. Well, we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes now. Here we go. Okay. So besides the fact that we want to just take this and actually put it down on the ground. And honestly, the whole house looks like it needs to come down a hair. Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, let's see. No. Alright, so whatever's going on with the house, really it's just our non-parallax layer 1. house and move it somewhere else. Different layer. No, I want it to go underneath things. I don't want it to be on top. So as far as my layer 1, I think what we're going to have to do is put it into the ground layer. And let it be. So when I do behind layer 1, it must be layer 1. Okay. Goodness. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Wait, huh? Where's the house? The house. Where is the house? And that is in layer 0. Alright. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to check and make sure that the rats are rendering on the correct layer before I continue. problems. Okay, so play. Continue on to add that bass. Where's our house, Jimmy? Where's your house? Okay, so Jimmy's house, and we need to add. Like I was saying, I need to add the script. Okay, so let's add house interaction here. Okay, and then we put the interactable indicator. Okay, that's all things. So for that, I think we're going to go in and we're going to turn the light down quite a bit because we have a light right behind it. I don't need to be so bright. Okay, so we'll do that. Just put it up here. So we're going to go here. Now we're going to go back down to our script. We're going to drag and drop the interactable indicator icon over there. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to adjust where this is at all together. I don't want to move the house, obviously. So I need to go to Collider and change where this thing is at. Alright, so I think that's good. And obviously we'll make it smaller because it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be big. We don't want it to be very big. Just right. Yeah, so it could even be a hair smaller, really. Alright, so let's see. Of course, that. I'm sorry, but it's simply not true. All that stuff has been set up. Those things have been working for quite a while now. Okay. I think now we can tap our game view and give it a look-see real quick before we Oh, well, you know what? Those are all minor things. Okay, so let's take this and scale it up. Because don't forget, he's just a kid. Yeah, I think that seems a little bit more. The size of a house. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so if we get this there. I don't like how I'm covering up trees and such and lamp posts. That's why adding new things in. Of course, I'll be honest. My layers, I have not very good practices for my layers at the moment. I like the parallaxing that I have going on. That's all cool, but I don't. I definitely have not stayed very organized with my layers, and of course I have tried, but I haven't done a very good job at it. Uh, okay, so okay, yeah. Hmm. That's interesting. Some of those things. All right, so might as well keep this guy here. Keep making the hair smaller. Just yeah. I will keep just underneath that. That should be fine. Alright, so now we got him the right size that I want. Let's keep him there. Now let's just go back to this layer because I just don't like where it's at. I don't like what it's doing. Then again, I probably just put him in just the wrong layer anyways. But it's like I don't want him to move all the time. I mean, I like parallaxing, but I tell you what, it can be such a pain in the butt. Hey. Okay.